Top 10 SSS rated fantasy manhwa worth reading in 2024. Now I know the manhwa scene can be a bit overwhelming these days, with new titles popping up left and right, but I am about to take you on a journey through the absolute cream of the crop when it comes to the must-read manhwa of 2024. These are the SSS rated hidden gems that are going to blow your mind, so sit back, relax as we count down some of the best fantasy manhwa to read in 2024. At 10 on my list of top fantasy manhwa to read in 2024 that deserve way more hype is the strongest sect of all times. In this manhwa, Manhwa, we follow Wang Fang finds himself transported to Xianlan continent, where he uses powerful system to summon mighty individuals and lead his immortal sect to unparalleled glory. The art is superbly done, the characters are well built, and the action-packed story is both entertaining and has a great plot. If you love power fantasy manhwa, this is one you absolutely need to check out. Trust me, this manhwa is a true hidden gem that will blow your mind. Number 9. I became the game's biggest villain. The protagonist, Zhang Wei, finds himself trapped in a notoriously difficult game when survival is all about skill and strategy. Faced with relentless challenges and powerful enemies, Zhang Wei has to think on his feet and adapt quickly to not only survive but thrive as the game's biggest villain. The story combines awesome adventure, intense strategy, and great character development as Zhang Wei grapples with the consequences of his new role. The art is top-notch, the action is engaging, and the plot is just plain entertaining. If you are a fan of power fantasy manhwa, I Became the Game's Biggest Villain is an absolute must-read that will have you hooked from start to finish. Number 8. I will retire after saving the world. The protagonist finds himself back in the past 20 years before the world is set to be destroyed. With his second chance, his goal is to prevent the impending doom and have a peaceful retirement. But don't let the title fool you. This manhwa is anything but ordinary. The protagonist has a hilarious, sneaky and rude personality, but he's also super calculated and doesn't take crap from anyone. Instead of being an overpowered hunter, he's more of a cunning teacher at an awakening school, using his wits to navigate this regression setting. The story unfolds at a great pace, revealing more of the intriguing backstory as it becomes relevant. If you are looking for a refreshingly unique take on the Rikishan manhwa genre, I Will Retire After Saving the World is a must-read. Number 7. After 10,000 years, I will do whatever I want. Wang Rui, a powerful cultivator from 10,000 years ago who gets reborn as the young master of the Wang family. See, back in the day, the cultivation world was thriving until a disastrous invasion by extraterrestrial evil spirits nearly wiped out all the knowledge and people related to immortal cultivation. But now, Wang Rui has a second chance to rise up and do whatever he wants. And let me tell you, this guy is no slouch. The art is stunning, the characters are super well developed, and the action-packed storyline is endlessly entertaining. If you are a fan of overpowered protagonists, ancient cultivation worlds, and epic stories of rebirth, After 10,000 Years I Will Do Whatever I Want is a manhwa you absolutely can't miss. Number 6. Plus 99 Wooden Stick. We follow Ji-U as he logs into the virtual reality game Chrono Life, only to get straight up ignored and ridiculed by all other players for being a total noob. But when Ji-U decides he's had enough of the disrespect and upgrades his basic wooden stick all the way to a plus 99 reinforcement level, he quickly realizes he's packing some god-tier power. We're talking about the ability to split continents and slay entire armies with just a single swing of his stick. You gotta love the main character's hilariously I don't give a crap attitude as he sets out to teach those pesky players a lesson they will never forget. The art is killer, the world building is super intriguing, and the over-the-top OP protagonist is just an absolute riot to follow. If you are in the mood for an outrageously fun power fantasy manhwa, Plus 99 Wooden Stick is a must-read. Moving on to our number 5, Academy's Genius Swordmaster. In this action-packed story, we follow Ronan, a battle-hardened warrior who emerges as the sole survivor of a massive war against giants. But just when he thinks the conflict is over, a whole new horde of giants comes raining down from the heavens. Luckily, Ronan's commanding officer sees the potential in this courageous soldier and uses a time slip to send him back to the prestigious Villian Academy. Now, Ronan has a chance to become the strongest swordsman the Empire has ever seen. While the story starts off super strong, with Ronan flexing his OP abilities, things to do take a bit of a turn as it starts to feel more like a series of side quests. But trust me, this manhwa is still an absolute blast, with jaw-dropping action and an intriguing reincarnation twist. If you love power fantasy stories, Academy's Genius Swordmaster is a manhwa you won't want to miss. Number 4. From Goblin to Goblin God. In this manhwa, we follow Lin Tian, who finds himself reincarnated as the lowest rank of magical creature, a goblin. But don't let that humble start fool you, because this guy is about to unleash the true power of the goblin race. See, the more offspring Lin Tian has, the stronger he becomes, and thanks to the blessings of the gods. So this guy goes from a lowly goblin scrapping to get by to an absolute goblin dynasty building an unstoppable army. The art is top-notch, the characters are super well developed, and the story is just plain entertaining from start to finish. If you are looking for a fresh take on the classic power fantasy manhwa, From Goblin to Goblin God is a must-read. Number 3. Margarets' bastard son was the Emperor. Now this one might start off a bit generic, with our protagonist Ian Veroshian getting betrayed and then sent back in time to become the illegitimate son of a Margrave. But trust me, this story quickly becomes a whole lot more interesting. See, young Ian has to use his wits and powerful magic skills to navigate the political plots and schemes swirling around him. He's got to figure out how to change his fate before time runs out once more. And let me tell you, this guy is no slouch. He's a skilled mage and the former emperor of the Varial Empire. The art is absolutely gorgeous, while the story may start a tad generic. I have a feeling it's got some wild twists and turns in store. If you are a fan of time travel, political intrigue, and overpowered protagonist, then read Margaret's bastard son was the Emperor. Otherwise, just skip it. Number 2. The Hero Returns. Now, this might seem like a typical overpowered protagonist gets a second chance to save the world story, but trust me, this one's got some serious plot. When the emergence of deadly dungeons and monsters overwhelmed humanity, only Sungin Kim, the most powerful awakened, was left standing. But upon his death, he finds himself waking up 20 years in the past as an unassuming high school student named Soo Hyun Kim. The world building is awesome, the pacing is on point, and the action scenes are downright incredible. Plus, the way Soo Hyun has to navigate his new relationship, like with his mother, adds a really human touch. If you are craving an epic fantasy manhwa with heart, The Hero Returns is an absolute must-read. And finally, number 1. Magic Emperor. Now, this manhwa might seem like a standard reincarnation story at first, with our protagonist Yifan Juwo, the former Demon King, finding himself reborn into the body of a lowly servant. But trust me, this is anything but your average power fantasy. See, Yifan's new host body has a special spirit bond with his mistress, Lady Luo, and he finds himself inexplicably drawn to her and with her family's fate. The character's depth, world building, and sheer artistry on display here are truly next level. This manhwa isn't afraid to tug at your heartstrings one moment and then blow your mind with jaw-dropping action the next. If you are craving a fantasy epic with a deliciously morally ambiguous protagonist, Magic Emperor is an absolute must-read. Whether you are a die-hard isekai junkie or just looking for next epic fantasy fix, these manhwas have something for everyone. So what are you waiting for? Start reading these hidden gems and get ready to have your mind blown. Trust me, these are the kind of stories that will stick with you a long time after the final page. Happy reading, my friends. Sayonara and peace out.